Hey guys, it's one second, pulling out of a drive. It's July the 21st. It's actually a Thursday, but I'm doing the So You Want to Know Friday video now, and I'll just post it tomorrow because I'm going to be really busy tomorrow. As some of you know, in my past video, I had to help my son take the radiator off and get it in the shop, and it's in the shop, so now I need to go pick that thing up and get it back on their vehicle, so they'll have transportation. But anyway, I wanted to, I'm going to do actually two comments today. One of them I'm kind of doing, it's going to be part of the second part of the other video, what it, basically what it takes to be a homesteader, or you prepare, whatever. Wait 1 second here. And I do these videos in a truck a lot of times because this is the spare time that I actually have that I can do them. I like to do them sitting down or just, around the property or whatever, but right now it's just a lot easier for me to do them here because this is the spare time that I do have. But one of the comments that I got, and I'm doing this one because I don't think she misunderstood. She just didn't quite understand what I was getting at. And it's, I'm sorry, I got a piece of paper here I'm reading off of so I don't forget who I'm talking about, which I'm not forgetting who I'm talking about. But it's Bonnie Blue, the number 2A. And I put a link to her channel, but she doesn't have any videos. She doesn't do any videos, but she looks like she supports a lot of channels, and she's commented quite a few times on mine, and it's always been great comments and sometimes information. Sounds like a very nice lady, but anyway, I'll put a link to her channel anyway. But basically her question was on one of my comments that I made during the video of the one to watch before watching the other video, about how it will affect small children. And she basically commented that, where did I get that it would, or how do I figure it will affect small children moving on to a homestead, if you're going way out into a homestead or whatever. Well, because she had seen this on another channel where small children were thriving, in her words, and doing great, and I'm sure they are. I trust me, this is part of the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And if a lot of you have been around my channel long enough, you know that we moved my son and his wife, who don't have any money. I mean, they're just getting started. They're having a rough time. Well, he did it the wrong way, and he has two small children. He had twins. They had twins. Their first one, they're young. They don't realize how expensive it is to raise kids. It's really expensive to raise kids. Well, from our past experience, my kids were good. They never were in any kind of trouble with the police or anything like that. They were good. They were good kids. When it come down to that, they were normal kids, but they were good kids. They gave us hard times at times, and they still do today. But getting back to my point here is how I think, and I don't want to go too far into it because I'm going to put this in the second part of this video. Why I think it could affect small children is, depending on the age of the children, very young children adapt very easily to a lot of different things, very easily. But if you get a child that's in school, has already got friends, into sports, into a lot of different things, it's hard for them to adjust when they go into a totally different environment versus the big city, going into way out in the middle of nowhere homestead. I'm not saying they won't like it, but it's going to be a very hard adjustment for them. And some kids just can't adjust to it. and they won't adjust to it. The older they are, Now, when you get a teenager, that's a different story. It's going to be very, very hard to get a teenager to come out of the city that's used to going to the malls and going to movie theaters and doing what they do, nowadays, and hanging out with their friends and having to leave all their friends. So that's a different story. But small children will be a little bit easier, but still it's going to be a culture shock to them. And the younger they are, I feel they'll adapt a lot easier. But like I said, we moved my son and his family up here. They're 4-year-old twins. They're about 4.5 years old now. They're still young enough. I don't know how to put it, but I know they will adapt, and they are already adapting because they really haven't got into any bad habits. And that's why we got them up here. We want them to grow up in an environment like this. We feel it's so much better for them. It's going to be so much safer for them, more educational, and they're going to learn to take care of themselves, I think, better than living in a city. And anyway, I'm just going to call you Bonnie because I'm sure that's your name, but I'm not positive. But anyway, Bonnie Blue 2A. That's my reason behind that comment. I didn't mean anything bad about it. I think it's great, and I've actually watched those videos. I've subscribed to that channel, and they look very happy, and they're enjoying everything they do, and and I'm sure they are, and I think our grandkids will too if they grow up in this area versus growing up in the city, because that's the last thing I wanted was for them to grow up in a big city. I think they'll be a lot better off here and learn a lot more than there. Anyway, that was my reason behind that comment, and there'll be more in the next video basically about some of that. But the other one is Reverend John O'Toole, and he does have some videos. His are normally short videos. He doesn't have a lot, but he supports a lot of channels also, and he's more into the off-grid stuff and some of the homesteading stuff, but small scale. But very knowledgeable, seems to be very knowledgeable in off-grid solar and stuff like that, windmills, not windmills, but turbines. But go by and check his channel out. He seems like a nice guy, and he always seems to be more than willing to answer any questions when it comes to solar or wind turbines and stuff like that. It seems like he's really, really into it. But his question one time was, just recently, was why, when I was buying the French doors for the cabin, why I didn't check out our Habitat for Humanity store. I know about those. We actually had those in Florida. And I have used those in the past on remodels and stuff. There's some great, you can find some great deals at those places. My problem is, and a lot of people don't really get it when I say we're out in the middle of nowhere. The people around here, they ask you where you're at and where you're living, and I tell them where they're at, and they're like, oh, you can't get there from here. That's how far you are. I mean, basically, that's how far we're out. We're literally in the middle of nowhere. It would take me over a 2-hour drive to get to one of those stores. That's one way. And then, you figure you're there for an hour or so, whatever. Then another 2 or so hours coming back. You pretty much wasted your whole day. And I'm not going to say wasted, depending on what you're going to get. But they might have nothing that you need. And another reason I don't do that, because he mentioned that it may be worth driving to there to see what they have or get what they need. I'm good with tools and working. I went to school when I was very, very young for woodworking, and I've done it all my life. I've done other jobs, but I've done carpentry all my life, and I'm pretty good at it. I'm saying this for myself, but about myself, but I think I'm pretty good at it. In fact, I know I am. I'm not the best. I'm not the best, but I'm pretty good. I'm particular on how I build things and the way I want them to be. But our plan is, and this is part of what we're doing, is this homestead is going to be built from the ground up. Pretty much, we're going to build everything. You know, of course, we got to use some things and some materials. We got to go buy. I don't have the lumber. I don't have the trees to cut my own lumber. I wish I did, because I probably would be doing that. But we're going to build a lot of this stuff ourselves. All the kitchen cabinets, all the kitchen, the bathroom sink, all this stuff is going to be reused stuff, or either we're going to build it ourselves. All the flooring is going to be done ourselves out of raw oak that we can get from the lumber mills around here, because there are lots of them around here. That's one of the biggest industries around here. Let's see what else. In the cabin, and I did this on purpose, there are going to only be, not counting closet, which would only be like 2, I think. There's only going to be, and not counting the exterior doors. I actually count the exterior doors. The front door, the bedroom door, and the bathroom door. Those are the only 3 doors in this cabin. And I did this for a reason. I wanted to kind of open them, but there are walls in between it. They're just extra wide openings that you could, excuse me, my nose itches, but that you could walk through and not have to have doors to shut off the rest of the house. I want it kind of open. The rooms are really bigger than what most people would put them, but that's our choice. That's what we wanted. But anyway, I'm going to actually build my own doors to go along with the rustic look of the cabin. That's our whole purpose of doing this. You know, yes, it's going to take longer, and but we'll get it done. I mean, we can deal without it as long as we got some kind of bathroom door. My wife likes her privacy. But that's what we're going to do with that. So that we really have no need to get kitchen cabinets or bathroom cabinets or anything like that. I'm going to build them all myself, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. I know that. I understand that. Now, I actually have met a guy through YouTube that lives in the next town over. He's not on YouTube, but he watches a lot of my videos, and he actually found me because he recognized the place, because he goes by it quite a bit, and he just kind of stopped in one day, and he stops in every now and then when he's out this way, and we just kind of, you know, talk and you know, bullshit, excuse my language, ladies, when he does come by. But he did the same thing, and just so happens he was from Florida, and I want to say he's been here like 4 years now. But basically, he was telling me that he lived in a tent for quite a while before he built a little place enough to live in to get started. And his wife, if I'm not mistaken, was in Florida, the same as mine, till he got enough going. But his trade was cabinetry, and he's offered to actually help me, you know, build these cabinets, because that's what he does. He actually has a workshop already set up and does this stuff. He doesn't do it up here now that I know of, but he has a workshop because still doing it. He's still building his place. He said it's taking him that long, but they already have a greenhouse. I haven't been out to his place yet. I'm going to, but he seems like a very nice guy. But they have a greenhouse where they grow a lot of their own vegetables and stuff like that. But he's offered to actually help me anytime I need it, and help me do it, the cabinetry and stuff like that. And that's something I really appreciate. And like I said, I've told him, you know, I don't mind helping anybody. If you ever need anything, if possible, I can help you, I'll help you. But anyway, I'm going to get off of that, and I'm getting closer into town. I've got to go get this radiator and then take it back to his place and get it put on. But I wanted to answer those comments on today's video, and like I said, guys, if you like and subscribe, excuse me, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. If you like the videos and you like to see more, just remember that little gear thing next to the subscribe button. If you click on it, it has a place on there you can click on that tells you to click on here, and you'll keep informed when I post videos. All right, guys, if you like the videos, as always, you know, subscribe, like, and share. All right, you guys have a great day.